Keir Starmer has been caught out once again in an ITV interview and exposed as the grifter he really is. He always seems to think he gets away with these interviews as the smart guy, but the internet always catches it. In today's video, we will of course check out the interview and then go over why the British public are fuming, whilst also going over all of the latest news from up and down the country. But first, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Keir Starmer has been accused of snatching the winter fuel payment from pensioners despite accepting high-value gifts from donors. Since becoming Prime Minister, the Labour leader has accepted an estimated £107,145 in tickets, gifts, benefits and hospitality, including a large sum from donor Lord Wahid Ali, which provided both he and his wife Lady Starmer with new clothes. Now the Prime Minister was asked about his box at Arsenal, which was given to him in an ITV interview. This was his response.
There's a lot of attention on your relationship with Arsenal. Can you clarify what it is?
Yes, very happily. I've had season tickets at Arsenal for a long time now, up in the stands, where I've gone with my boy and my friends for year after year after year. Now I'm Prime Minister. The security advice is that I can't go into the stands. Or if I did, you'd have to put so much sort of security in that it would cost the taxpayer a fortune. As a result, I've been offered tickets elsewhere in the ground where it's more secure. We don't have to use taxpayer money on additional security, and that's why I've taken the decision that I have. I think most people watching this would say, well, fair dues. I think they'd think I was pretty self-centred if I said, I'd much prefer to be in the stands, by the way. If I said, I'm going in the stands and you, the taxpayer, are going to have to pick up the tab for the security. I'm not really.
Now this is what the British public had to say. One user said, Starmer, further evidencing how out of touch he is. You're a freeloader and a hypocrite, and we all absolutely hate you. Another said, the correct answer is, I'm asking pensioners and single mothers with more than 2 children to make sacrifices and go without the help of the welfare state. As Prime Minister, I have to lead by example, and if that means not attending football matches, then that's what I'll do. Someone else said, he is on another planet. Why kick up so much fuss in the past about others taking gifts off people? Obviously they don't want anything in return, completely disconnected from the people. Champagne socialism in action, Rob said. No, they wouldn't, you flipping scrounger. You are a total hypocrite and are completely out of touch with ordinary people. Please resign, another said. Arsenal tickets, clothes, Taylor Swift tickets, holidays, food, and numerous assorted other bribes, all given to this worthy bloke struggling to make ends meet on £400,000 a year. Given the reaction of Labour, it seems they've had a sudden epiphany over the fair dues of corruption, while the Tories on their road to Damascus have equally suddenly discovered it to be bad. WM, eh? This guy said, no, they effing wouldn't. Might be all right in a Camden dinner party, but not in the real world. Lastly, this guy said, fair dos, still not reading the room. It's lucky he is not a firefighter because he really isn't great at putting out fires. Sadly, there is a growing apathy in politics, driven by a lack of trust in our politicians. What are your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments. Discussing the latest Labour scandal in an interview, political commentator Emily Hewitson hit out at Starmer and claimed he is holding everyone else to a different standard in comparison to his own government. Raging at the donations, Hewitson swiped, I know for a fact that if it were a Conservative Prime Minister who had claimed all of these free gifts, there would be absolute outrage. Keir Starmer has talked a lot about difficult decisions, and whilst he's snatching the winter fuel allowance from pensioners, it seems the only difficult decisions he's been making is which £2,000 pair of designer sunglasses to nab from one of his mates. Highlighting the hypocrisy of the gifts Starmer is accepting, host Patrick Christys claimed that the Prime Minister doesn't want to mix with the plebs, and that many high-profile figures do not use the same level of security protection. He is a grifter, ain't he? In other news, Labour has been dealt another blow to its fiscal agenda for the economy, as public sector borrowing is the highest since the COVID-19 pandemic, according to the latest figures from the Office for National Statistics, ONS. Borrowing in August 2024 was found to be the third highest on record, only behind 2020 and 2021, despite tax revenues being up over the period. Costs, not including public sector banks, came to £13.7 billion in August 2024, which is £3.3 billion more than in August 2023. Concerningly, public sector debt was £2.77 billion at the end of the month, which is estimated to be around 100% of country's gross domestic product, GDP. Grant Fitzner, the ONS's chief economist, said, "Borrowing was up over £3 billion last month on 2023's figure and was the third highest August borrowing on record. Central government tax receipts grew strongly, but this was outweighed by higher expenditure, largely driven by benefits uprating and higher spending on public services due to increased running costs and pay." Chief Secretary to the Treasury, Darren Jones, said, "When we came into office, we inherited an economy that wasn't working for working people. Today's data shows the highest August borrowing on record, outside the pandemic. Debt is 100% of GDP, the highest level since the 1960s. Because of the £22 billion black hole in our public finances. We have inherited this year alone. We are now taking the tough decisions now to fix the foundations of our economy, so we can rebuild Britain and make every part of the country better off." Gabriel Moody, the head of macroeconomics at Sad Rabbit Investments, warned that these latest figures paint a stark picture of the fiscal dilemma Labour faces. He explained, "These elevated borrowing levels underscore the government's struggle to balance spending with income amidst rising costs and economic uncertainties. This will likely necessitate difficult decisions in the forthcoming budget, with the need to rein in borrowing without stifling the economic recovery being paramount. Inheriting a substantial fiscal deficit, Chancellor Reeves now faces the formidable challenge of addressing this financial shortfall without exacerbating the situation further. However, in a storm of rising costs and economic uncertainty, stabilizing public finances is not just important, it's vital for reigniting rapidly depleting confidence." Chancellor Rachel Reeves is preparing to outline the government's plan for the economy during the autumn budget on October 30th. Ahead of this date, she has warned that households should expect tough decisions to be made to plug the £22 billion black hole in the public finances. What are your thoughts on what we discussed in today's video? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you've not yet already, make sure you do drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel for more British content. Thank you. Take care. Goodbye.